Hari Om. In the Rajaguhya Yoga, Bhagavan indicated a word avidhi purvakam, and Gurudev has taken the straw from there to build the next two shlok. Avidhi purvakam, which means keeping aside the Veda Vihitam. When the precise purport of one's existence and its purpose is not understood in entirety based on the understanding or the limited understanding, one pursues the spiritual practice or sadhana, and although any attempt made in the direction of God does propel one towards the God, the attempt need not always mean realization of God in its entirety. So what happens to those who do not approach the God as per the Veda Vihita Ajna, owing to the lack of required intelligence, wherein the buddhi hasn't matured enough to become medha or prajna, and it has fallen short of its highest blossoming called Rutambhara in the Yoga Shastra. Mortals like us, we do propitiate God, we do our own sadhana in proportion to our intellectual comprehension of the entire spirituality. One worships the God in the form of pratika upasana, like the way currently Ganesha Chaturthi is happening. The Lord Ganesha, being the epitome of intelligence, buddhi, who carries the ruddhi and siddhi with him, we propitiate this God with whatever limited understanding we have, little realizing that this is just one manifestation of that infinite consciousness, the Brahma. And since we are dedicated or devoted to the consciousness in its part aspect called the Anga, we tend to forget the Angi or the whole. Nevertheless, even when one is pursuing the worship of Anga or the manifestation of the Lord, the infinite consciousness, into various deities, choosing one of them as our Ishta Devata, in order to inculcate in us gradual ascent of guna that is required for such propitiation, starting from the tamo guna, with tamo gunika deities, devatas, then graduating towards rajo guna, further graduating towards sattva guna. At each stage of these guna, the methodology or the strategy adopted for Devata Puja also undergoes a transformation. and so undergoes the transformation, the results thereof. However, Bhagavan Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, irrespective of what kind of worship they are doing, I consider that as a gradual ascent towards me. And in such a case, when they are propitiating me, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta, the enjoyer of all the results that come out of karma, and every karma is expected to be a yajna. In a secular language, what we call as meeting two square mills and working in the field of transactional world is never considered separate from worshipping, because work is worship. A mother tending to a child, a father looking after the family, a person working in his office, or a person looking after his vanaprastha, one who is involved into these scriptural studies, each of them are expected to be performed in the spirit of yajna and yajna only. Yajna tapadana is the Trisutri of the life that we have been given or endowed with. It is a different fact that all the three are put to travesty by us, by making all the three into a ridiculous proposition, but that is a mischievous abrogation of the Trisutri as stated by the 18th Adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita. Taking one of the Trisutri, which is the first amongst the three, called Yajna, which itself means all the work, all the time that we do till we are embodied. देह धरे का दंड है सब काहू को होय, ज्ञानी भुगते ज्ञान से मूर्ख भुगते रोय. You need to understand, as Kabir Maharaj says, if I am embodied, then I have certain duty. That certainty of the duty is nothing else but yajna. Every act that I shall do, every thought that I shall harbor, every memory that I will carry shall have only and only yajna in mind. Because that is the only way of progressively coming out of the matter vestures, the word so favorite of Gurudeva. In order to remove the matter vestures piece by piece, the progress can be achieved by moving on the lines of yajna. And in these yajnas, in the beginning, the one who intends to perform the sacrifice or the yajna or the karma does carry with him a notion that I am the doer and I am the enjoyer of the results. I am the karta and I am the bhokta. Lord here gives a warning and an information that the so-called bhoga of coming out of the karma that you are performing, provided you perform it in the form of a yajna, Arjuna, I am the bhokta of that, which as a corollary means every karma is nothing else but a flower offered at the feet of the Lord. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, Swakarma Kusuma Veera. Swakarma Kusuma. Every act that I do, every thought I harbor, every memory and impression I carry would be nothing else but propitiation at the feet of Lord, which is nothing else but the core value of prapatti or sharanagati. साहेब से सब होत है, बंदे से कछु नाही. कहो कही मैं किया तो वो था मेरे माही. Every single thing that I do is nothing else but something that is done by him through me. In our Chinmaya prayer in Sanskrit, Dwara abhito jagati stravantu, through me flowing to the world. So Deha being the instrument given by the Lord or chosen by the Lord. Prapya varan nibodhat. Prapya vara. Let this body be eligible for the Lord to stay. In one of the satsang in Hong Kong, where inquisitive people really probed pretty deep with high efforts and asked a question to Gurudeva, are you not God? And Gurudeva's beautiful answer was, yes, sometimes he chooses a pure body to express himself. When that thing happens, then though the body is doing the karma or the yajna, the falabhokta cannot be me. The holder of the money order is postman, but it is not his money order. The recipient is somebody else. He is carrying it. Even now, if few beautiful words are emanating from my tongue in the service of the Lord, they are not my words, but they are the words of the Lord put in the mouth by the Lord for the dissipation of the word so that they could reach the correct recipient. So Arjuna, whenever a karma has taken the shape of yajna, I am the enjoyer of that. And when will a karma take the shape or the role of a yajna? Only and only when it is not meant for the karta. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीर पराई जाने रे. Narsi Mehta Maharaj emphasized that anything that is completely letting me forget myself is the highest deed in the world. Swartha Rahita Niswartha Seva. And a beautiful word given for such a Jiva Seva by none else but the Thakur Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was Shiva Seva. When such an act then gets elevated from ordinary karma to yajna karma, that is the time, Arjuna, I am the enjoyer because it is done for me. It is not done by the karta for himself. Why? His ahankar or ego is no more there. He is working for others. Such a karma, when it happens, Arjuna, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta, and not only I am the bhokta, prabhu evacha. Visarga sandhi, prabhurevacha. I am the Prabhu, I am the bestower of the fruit. I am the enjoyer of the fruit. I am the bestower of the fruit. And when I am the enjoyer and I am the bestower, how cannot it not be that I am the doer of the same? In other words, although it may feel to you because of your Santa Buddhi that the karma in the form of yajna is happening through you, believe me, the one which makes you move to do that yajna, the karta, the bhokta, the prabhuta of the phalam is entirely possible because of the consciousness residing in you in my form as a Prabhu. However, those na tu abhijananti, those who do not know me. Abhijananti is different than avagatam. Ma'am, avagatam is possible when it is in experiential field. That which involves vritti as a form of jnana. So in short, the vritti jnana is avagatam. But Arjuna, I am not to be understood by intellect because I am beyond intellect. So I am beyond vritti jnana. So that jnatavya that I'm talking about, knowing myself, is called abhijananti, where abhi, perpetual presence of jnanam, jnanodaya paschat, paripurvakam jnanam asti, tadanushangena abhijananti. If not understood in that form, Arjuna, then they chavanti, they fall. And that fall in Sanskrit is called skhalana. A small iota of ego, asmita, in understanding me would make it mean that the understanding person and what is understood has to be two. And moment, even at the sampradnyat samadhi level, even though the sukshma antakarana vritti is alive, even at that place, dvaita is there. The experiencer is expecting an experience of the reality. It can never come because experiential world is a loka. Lokyate bhunjate iti lokaha. And when experience is transcended, my presence is there. Aham tripadaha gayatri. The Chatushpada Gayatri, the fourth feet, is this entire creation. The 3 feet of mine in Gayatri Upasana is entirely meant to reach to the 3 feet Padam, Tripadam. Those who do not do that, they fall. Where do they fall? Kaha chavanti? Vishve chavanti. In this world they fall. Ajnana kruta, avidya kruta, Vishwa Srujana. They again fall into this. I do not fall, Arjuna. That is why they call me Achyuta. Na Chutatite. I do not fall. Why? I am beyond this experiential world. I transcend the time and space. Then if you transcend the time and space, how do you remain, Lord, in this world again? If you are out of this world, then who is there in this world? I am into the Vyakta form, Rupa. as a Saguna Brahma, I become Saguna Sakar. Asti Bhati Priti is my essential nature. However, Nama Rupa is my manifestative nature. And in this manifestative nature of mine, Saguna Brahma, considering my different levels of consciousness, and this levels or stratification of my consciousness is only in this created world. I am a completely unalloyed, unstratified consciousness when I am there in the Nirguna Swarupa. In the Saguna Swarupa, because of the vastness of the plurality, there are different levels at which I manifest depending upon who is manifesting me as Upadhi. A tamoguni tiryaka yoni shall see my lowest manifestation as a stone or as an animal. However, my consciousness in Saguna Rupa gets manifested as a giant manifestation when you see the vibhutis. To explain the same, Lord has taken entire Vibhuti Yoga. All that is Ujjvala, Bhavya, Divya is Lord's Vibhuti. And these Vibhutis are the one, then they help you in turn to do your yajna or the worship. Then do all of them worship me at the same stratified level? No, Arjuna. Yanti Deva Vrata. Those who are imbued with Sattva Guna, they have already elevated themselves, because of which they are the one, they shall be propitiating Vasu, Rudra and Aditya, as explanation given by Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj on this shloka. However, because of Sattva Guna and their propitiation to them, their yajna is of a little higher order, and it is called as a vrata. And vrata because they have nishchaya of the buddhi, a tremendous amount of determinative faculty. When it is channelized into a single pointed focus through the act of upasana, then the unfolding of higher and higher consciousness, which moves from the Sampradnat to a Sampradnat Samadhi as described by Patanjali Maharaj in the Yoga Shastra, such people, they are Deva Vratavadi Sattva Guni. They have higher experiences which Gurudeva has equated with various sense organs. My eyes make me possible to see the mountain in front of me. But those who propitiate such Sattva Guni people, their vision extends to the places where others' vision cannot even pierce. So they become Siddhipurna. Yet, what they use is nothing else but the sense organs. So Gurudeva, in corollary, joins them with the various sense organs. So devas may be taken as different levels of physical experience. Again, we are talking about different lokas. Lok means experience. Lokyate bhunjate iti lokaha. What about the rajasic people? Those who are imbued with rajasa, pitruyanti. They are the one who are worshipping the Pitrus. And moment we think of Pitrus, we immediately remember our father, thinking that our father has gone somewhere, I shall be going there. No, sir. It has nothing to do with your Pitrus, ancestors. And our ancestors does not mean the immediate ancestor that we had. Our ancestors were the Rishis. Those Rishis, since they belong to a particular Gotra, particular Prapatya, they, in the olden times, because of their pure character, They tried to perform the rituals in the best possible manners. And that is when you propitiate such rishis or ancestors of yours, in order to follow the scriptural injunctions while performing the yajna, which is basically based more on what is called as Pitru Shraddha, having enormous numbers of Pitru Shraddhas. Although it is not a subject of today's discussion, there are 7 different types of Pitrus. Of the Pitrus, Barhishad Pitrus, Agnishwatta Pitrus, Vairajya Pitrus. There are 3 incorporeal, without body Pitru. There are 4 corporal Pitrus. Leaving aside the details, those who do Shraddha to these Pitrus, who are the pious souls of yester births of ours, then we also enjoy that pure character that they had enjoyed as a result of their pure karma, which Gurudeva says as persons enthusiastically alive to the cultural purity and the traditions of their ancients. But what about those who are tamoguni? Bhutani yanti bhuteja tamasa. Those who are predominant in tamasa, they shall propitiate the yakshas, rakshasas, and matrukas. Matrukas are nothing else but the feminine counterparts of the Shakti in different forms. Some people call Saptamatrukas, some people call Ashtamatrukas. Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj refers to 16 Matrukas, which are nothing else but the manifestation of Shakti. So those who propitiate them, they do get that power or Shakti in them as a result of the yajna that they are doing. And that is why we see Puranas replete with the story that the Rakshasa was so powerful that he could uproot a tree. That means he got the Shakti by propitiating the Bhutani, the Devatas at a very lower level, such as Yakshas and Rakshasas. So they shall get what they propitiate. Each one of gets what they propitiate for. However, Arjuna, my worshippers come to me. Madhyajino api mam. Madhyajinaha, my worshippers. Who are my worshippers? Those who do not worship these 3. When will they not worship these 3? When they will be out of the cluster of the gunas. If you are in the guna, based on the guna that you have, you shall have your propitiation. And that is why, Arjuna, after few adhyaya, I am going to tell you, Nistraigunya bhava Arjuna. What will happen if you become Nistraigunya? You are out of Prakriti. Because Prakriti is nothing else but existence of 3 gunas. Patanjali Yoga Sutra talks about Prakriti as a mode of operation, not a thing in existence. That which is made up of 3 gunas is Prakriti. When 3 guna laya, gunatrayatitaha, at that point of time, Prakriti ceases to exist. And when Prakriti ceases to exist, that exists who always exists, which is nothing else but the Lord. And when that happens, Arjuna, Mam Abhijananti, then he shall know me because he shall be me. Because the becoming has stopped, being is into the force. It is a Sayujjata. And what kind of Sayujjata, Arjuna? It is exactly on the lines of Brahmara Kita Nyayaha. The Brahmara, the bee, when it catches the prey, the way it engulfs and completely controls the prey, there is hardly any difference, because you will say that there is a krumi or kitaka in the mouth of the bee, and the very next moment he is no more there. The krumi or the kit became bhrungamaya. In the similar manner, he merges with me, and his merging in me is mam abhijananti. So Arjuna, I know this is not very easy to understand. I told you in the beginning, it is a Raja Guhya way yoga. The Guhyata means esotericity, and esotericity means requires a complete, profound intelligence to understand the same. But I have sent to you, Gurudeva, the Chinmaya Maharaj, to explain you, knowing fully well that you may not understand it. I have sent you my emissary. Take help of him and try to understand the two shloka. Hari Om.